My channel where we look at math problems that students often have issues with. Together, we will find that math can be easy, even for a 7-year-old.
Daddy, why don't we do some math?
Okay. Do you want to help me show all the different ways we can solve a quadratic? Okay, how about we solve x squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. We're going to see how many different ways we can find to solve the same equation. What way should we start with?
Factoring.
Awesome. Okay, how do we factor it?
Double bubble.
Okay.
XX.
What are we looking for?
Two numbers that multiply to give you negative 14 and add to give you negative 5.
What's that going to be?
It's going to be negative 1 and negative 4.
Negative 1 and what?
4.
Negative 1 times 4 gives you 14?
So it must be, I don't know.
Well, you tried 1 times 14, right? How about 2?
2 times 7.
Okay, can we throw on a negative to one of those and add them up to give you negative 5?
Yes, the bigger one. 7.
Ah, so what's it going to be?
2 minus 7 equals 5.
Okay, so what do I put here?
Plus 2 minus 7.
Sweet! So we get x equals what?
Negative 2 and 7.
Great! First method done! Alright, should we try another one?
Yep.
What else can we do? Solve the same
what about
problem.
we graph?
You want to graph it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's grab a calculator. Okay. So we have to first plug in, there you go. Plug that in to the y equals. So we have x
Squared minus 5x minus 14.
Okay, and then what do we do with y2?
It equals 0.
Yep, that's the other side of the equation.
What about y3?
We don't need y3, we only need y2, because there's only 2 equations. Yep, hit graph, and we get to see our nice quadratic. So now we know what it looks like. Okay, so then we want to hit second and calculate,
Second.
intersect. So that's number 5. And then just hit enter 3 times. So that gives me x equals,
Negative 2.
and what's y?
Y equals 0.
So that's telling us that if x is negative 2, y is 0. Well, sweet! That's our answer. Okay, how do we get the second answer?
I don't know.
Go back to second calc, intersect. This time hit down 1 time to get onto the straight line, and then hit to the right. There you go. Go all the way over until you can see the cursor go roughly over here, which is our next solution. And you don't have to go all the way. I think that's enough. And hit enter for the 3 times. One more. There you go. And what does it tell you?
X equals 7, y equals 0.
So 7 is a solution. All right. What should we do next? You want to complete the square?
Sure.
Okay, let's see. So do you remember what the magic number is when we complete the square?
B over 2 squared.
Yeah. And what is b in this case?
B is negative 5.
So what's our magic number?
Negative 5 over 2.
Well, we need to square the 5 and square the 2.
25 over 2.
25 over 2?
4.
4. So our magic number is 25 over 4. What do we do with that?
Add on and subtract on.
Okay, so I'm going to take x squared minus 5x minus 14. No minus 14, right? Instead, we're going to add our magic number. minus 14 equals 0, right? Okay, so now what do we do?
Factor.
Just this part, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what that's going to factor into?
I remember that it factors into...
So it's going to be x minus...
Negative 5 over 2.
Yep, so x minus 5 over 2 squared. And that's going to be minus... Well, we need to multiply 14 times 4 to combine these fractions, right?
Yeah, 14 times 4. So it is 56.
Yep. So then we need 25 plus 56, which is 81 over 4.
Yeah.
And that equals 0, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So now we're going to add 81 over 4. And then what? What's our next step?
X minus 5 over 2 equals 81 over 4 over 2.
We get rid of the square root, right?
Over 5 over 2.
We get rid of the squared, so we're going to take a square root, so it's 9 over 2. And it's plus or minus. Right? So now x equals...
Next.
So it's going to be 5 over 2, because we're going to add that to the side, plus or minus 9 over 2. So 5 plus 9 is 14 over 2, which is 7. And 5 minus 9, what's 5 minus 9?
Uh-oh.
What's 5 minus 9?
5 minus 9 equals beep, 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 beep. I don't know.
Okay, negative 4 over 2. And negative 4 over 2 is negative 2. So we got the same two answers. Sweet! Is there any other way to solve this quadratic equation?
The quadratic formula or equation.
Okay, what is the quadratic formula?
X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a.
Nice! Okay, what's A, B, and C?
A is 1.
What's B?
B is negative 5.
And what's C?
C is negative 14.
Alright, tell me what it is then.
It's negative 5. It's 5
Yeah, because negative 5 is 5.
plus or minus the square root of negative 5. Negative 5 squared.
What is that?
Negative 5.
Negative 5 squared is negative 5?
No, 5. And the square root.
Oh, we don't do the square root yet. We have to do this subtraction before we do the square root.
Oh.
So we can't just take the square root of 25. We have to actually take 5 squared, which is 25. Minus, what's 4ac?
4 times 1 is 4. Times negative 14 is, I don't know.
We did it earlier.
4
Remember?
times negative 14.
56.
Oh.
Right? Because this is basically the same thing as completing the square. It's just a little easier. Okay, over 2a. What's 2a?
2.
And from here, this is almost identical to the end of completing the square, right? So we have 5 plus or minus The square root of, what's 25 plus 56?
81.
Alright, and what's the square root of 81?
9.
So this is just 5 plus or minus 9, all over 2. Which, as we saw earlier, 5 plus 9 is 14 over 2 is 7. And 5 minus 9 is negative 4 over 2 is negative 2. So we got the same answer 4 different ways.
I don't know any other way.
I'm not sure I do either.
Whoa.
So I have a question for you. What's the right way to do this? If you're given this problem and you're asked to solve for x, what should you do?
I don't know.
I don't know either. We did it 4 different ways and we got the same answer. Does it matter which one we did?
Nope.
It doesn't matter. I would argue the first one was easier for this problem. Factoring. And you know what? Graphing was pretty easy too. But you know what? Sometimes you don't have a calculator. Right? And the quadratic formula, that was pretty easy too. You know what the hard one was?
No.
Completing the square.
If you liked this video, comment, like, and subscribe. Remember, math can be easy.